YouTubers, this is Amber, and today I'm going to be doing an update on my under eye fillers, which was about 2 years ago almost. This was a highly requested video and it got 17K views and several comments. So today I will be answering all the comments that came to this video. So stay tuned.
Thanks, it's on the beat.
The very first question is, should have just slept for a week, laughing out loud. So the reason why I couldn't just sleep this off is because I have hereditary bags. I've had them throughout my whole childhood, teenage years, young adult. So as I got older, I continued to see the bags even more. So I got a little bit more self-conscious, and being a plus size model and seeing constant photos of myself, I noticed that, okay, maybe I need to get this done because none of these remedies are working. I tried all the creams and tubes and everything, so it wasn't working. So I decided to look into getting under eye fillers. So if sleeping was that easy, I would have done it. Okay, so the next question is, what kind of fillers did you use? I used Restylane, and at first I did all my research about Restylane and Juvederm, and I thought that I wanted Juvederm. But when I got my consultation with the doctor, he recommended Restylane, and the nurse injected it into my eye. So the doctor didn't actually do it. It was the nurse, and it was Restylane for sure. The next question is, do you still get fillers? I do not still get fillers, but it's not because I don't want to continue on with getting fillers. It's just that my fillers have been holding up for the most part. It has dissolved, like slightly. It has dissolved. I can tell the difference in my under eyes, but it's not as bad as when I first got them done. So I haven't ran to the medical spa to get it done again. So that was the very first time, and it's not going to be the last time. The next question is, should have used a cannula for the injections. Don't know what that is. I don't know any of the medical terms or whatever that is, but so I'm not really sure because there was replies and it sounded like it's more like medical terms for needles. So I don't even really know what that is, and I feel like whatever they did, they were professional enough to get the results that I wanted, and I had no side effects. I had no problem areas. I didn't have anything. So for whatever they did, they must have done it correctly because I didn't have any problems afterwards. So the next question is, what's this cost? That's what they put. So what is this cost or whatever? The cost of this was $700 a syringe. How much was the treatment? $1,400 because it's $700 a syringe, and I paid $1,200. They gave me a $200 discount. So the next question is, how long does this Restylane fillers last? So according to the medical spa, it dissolves within 10 months. So you have to arrange another session for you to keep this up. So you can't just get the under eye injections and just leave them and they don't stay that long. They probably dissolve within a year according to what they said. But my under eye fillers started dissolving around 7 months, and I started noticing a difference, but not a huge difference. And it's almost been 2 years in August, and today is April 5th. Yeah, I think April 5th. And this is as much dissolving as it's done since then. I've had really bad under eye bags, and I mean, they're still holding up. The next question is, did you swell and bruise, and how long did it take to go away? I did actually swell and I bruised while I was getting the under eye injections. My face was swelling up so much and bleeding that they had to stop and make me come in the next week when all the swelling was down from them injecting me. So I did have a lot of bruising and swelling. So up underneath my eyes, I had like black eyes, It wasn't really bad. It was just in the corners. It had like really like strong dark marks and kind of purplish. So it was not something that couldn't be covered up with makeup. I would say the swelling went down probably 5 to 6 days later. So that's why they scheduled out the next appointment to finish the Restylane the next week. So that's why. So yes, I did have swelling. The pain from getting the injections was not very painful. On a scale to 1 to 10, it was probably about a 4. So I was not in pain at all, even though there was bruising and blood and all that. Wasn't a lot of blood, but it was like enough for them to stop. You know, and everybody's skin works differently. So if you're a bleeder, you're gonna bleed. If you're not gonna bleed as much. So I bleed a lot, even with tattoos, piercing. So that's kind of normal for me. It might not be normal for you if you happen to get it done. The next comment says, "Wow, girl, you look good." Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. I feel so much better having them done and having the Restylane put in my under eyes. Feel so much better because it gives you so much more confidence. So thank you. And oh, the next comment is, "What are those weird holes in your cheeks that needs correcting ASAP?" And so the person commented for me. I didn't even have to comment to him because I didn't even see this comment until now. But it says, "They're either her dimples or where she may have formerly had piercings. I'm sure she corrected if she wanted to." Boom. So that answered that question for me. Yes, they are dimple piercings. As you can see, I have a dimple piercing there, and I also used to have one on this side. So, duh. Next comment says, "How long does the results last you?" Well, for me personally, I started noticing dissolving in about 7 to 8 months. I noticed that, okay, now it's depleting a little bit. I could see it a little bit, but it wasn't very drastic that other people can see. I still had a lot of techniques on how to cover up my under eye bags from before, so I just used those same little techniques that I did to cover up what was depleting, and it worked just fine because it was still mostly filled. And about the year mark, it still stayed the same between the time I started noticing the depleting until the year mark. So possibly it's going on about a year and a half now. I think it's a year and a half or almost a year because it's April and it'll be August will make a full year. So I've noticed a lot more depleting. I noticed that, you know, the Restylane is dissolving a whole lot, but it still has more than what I had. We're in April right now. In August it will make a year, and I have noticed that it has dissolved a whole lot more, but it still hasn't completely dissolved, because if you see my before and after pictures, you can see them slightly, like especially on this side. This was the most problematic side, but it's not as much as it used to be. So okay, so the next question is, "Hi, did you only use one syringe for your under eyes?" Hi girl. So I ended up only using a syringe and 75% of a second syringe. And what they do is store the rest, and it's a very small amount that I had left because I had deep hollows. So if you want to know exactly how many syringes you may need to use, you have to go for a consultation. Because of my under eyes being so hollow, I needed to have more of the Restylane up underneath my eyes, but everybody is different, so you have to go for a consultation for sure. The next comment says, "Yeah, I see the difference." Thank you, girl. Definitely. I definitely seen the difference right when I got them done, and I was really excited right when I seen it in the mirror. I was like, yes, yes, get them bags out. Okay, so the next comment is, "I don't see your follow-up in August. I am so sorry." I didn't think people really cared that much, and I'm not always logged in on this platform. So when I came back to the platform, and I hadn't really did a lot of videos, I put up some here and there, but I never really checked the comments, not expecting so many people to have watched this video. So yes, I'm sorry for the late response, but I'm responding now, so you know. So the next comment is, "Hey Amber, where did you go and how much is it?" Okay, so where I went to is this medical spa in Rancho Cucamonga, and it's called Skin Perfect Medical Aesthetics. And you can actually see on my consultation paper the address and the phone number and everything all right here. This is the consultation paper that you will have when you go there. You put your name and the date. And when I went for my first consultation was April 4th, 2018, which was 2 years from the date today. And also it shows you how much everything is. It shows you I've only paid $1,200 and exactly what I got there. So that's where I went. The place was very, very clean. It was in Rancho Cucamonga, so it's rich folks, and it was very clean. And I did a lot of research on this place before even going there. I had to make sure the reviews was good, the doctors were good, and all the recommendations I asked around. So you definitely have to do that before going to any place, especially if you guys are not in the area of the Inland Empire or Los Angeles and you can't get to some of these other places, because they do have other locations, but this is just the one I went to. So you definitely want to do your research. Make sure the reviews is good. Look at all the reviews and just do your research on what you feel you should get injected with, because I felt like I should get injected with Juvederm, but I ended up getting injected with Restylane. Make sure you do your research after your consultation to research anything that will be injected into you, and make sure it's dissolvable. So I did all my homework on this place and what they would be using, the injections, and I also looked at them when they open needles. So always do that. Always make sure the place is clean. Always make sure they have brand new needles. So yes, girl. Next comment says, where is your end result video? I'm so sorry. I did lose some footage, so that's what kept me from like uploading a little bit quicker. And I didn't think people really cared. But when I seen the views, I was like, I definitely have to, you know, a lot of people are asking me a lot of questions. So sorry, girl. Okay, so the next comment says, looks great. Getting mine soon. Yes, if you really feel an insecurity about this, I mean, this is not that much money to make you feel great. I mean, it is $1,000. They do have care credit. It's a little over $1,000, but they have care credit and other options with other medical spas. You could possibly do down payments, payment arrangements. But if you really feel insecure, I promise you, if you get this done, you will not feel as insecure. You will feel really great about yourself with that little tweak to your eyes. I mean, it makes a big, big difference. Definitely comment below if you see this video, girl, and tell me how your experience went. Next comment is, looks good, Amber. I can't wait to see your results. So these are my results after 2 years. So I know that was a year ago when you comment that, but these are my results. The next comment is, you look great. I'm so ready. I'm next. Definitely, definitely. This is just, trust me. There was times in the morning before I got the Restylane under eye fillers, I would wake up and I'm like, damn, these bags are going to be even worse, because I would get up and I'm like, dang, like, wash my face and see the hollows. When I first got the Restylane injections, I was already in the mode of seeing my bags every morning. So I got up and washed my face and looked in the mirror. I'm like, oh, like, it was just so different. Like, it was just like, damn, like they're gone. That's kind of how it felt. So it was really worth it to me, because it just built my confidence back up and it made me be my old self again. Because before, I didn't have such heavy bags, and as I got older, they just started getting worse. So it just made me feel like my old self again and not as worried about my under eyes, because suddenly, all of a sudden, it popped up like, oh wow, I hate these under eye bags, but it was never like that before. So the next comment reads, oh my goodness, I couldn't do it. I don't do needles. Now, I'm gonna tell you guys a quick story. I am very, very afraid of needles, and I've always have been. I had a phobia with needles, and it took me a very, very long time to do things with needles. I would cry, I would run, I would have to be held down. So doing this, as you can see in the video, I was very, very stressed to get this under eye fillers, but I wanted them done so bad, and I do have tattoos as well. So but it's nothing like getting a needle poked into your under eyes. Like, I was really afraid, but I was afraid about a few things. I was afraid about getting the needle poked in me, and I was also afraid about it hurting. So if I could do it, you could definitely do it, girl. Okay, so the next comment is, Amber, you look great. I want to do this as well. Hey girl, do it if you really want to do it, and you will not be disappointed. I promise you, you won't. You won't be disappointed. Unless you go to the wrong people, unless you don't do your research, then yes, you might be disappointed. But as far as going to a reputable person or a credible person that knows what they're doing, you will not be disappointed, and you'll probably save money or do what you have to do to keep the upkeep. So it's just that wonderful, I promise you. Okay, so the next comment says, wow, that was great. I could see the results right away. I definitely seen the results right away. I was so excited when I actually got to see it myself. I was like, wow, like this stuff is just disappearing before my eyes. So I couldn't wait to get up out of there so I could just like really look at myself. Okay, so the next comment reads, hello, I'm glad you shared your story. I would need an IV of sedation to have that procedure done. It's not that bad. You really can't feel the pain because they actually numb you before you even do anything with the needle. So all of this is numbed, and they let you sit for about 20 minutes, and you really can't feel it as much as you would feel it if you didn't have numbing cream. But it wasn't really that bad at all. Like, I thought it was gonna be way worse, but it really wasn't that bad. Okay, so the next comment reads, were you scared because you didn't know what the end results would look like? That's what I fear the most. Okay, so Anna, I was more afraid of the needle more than anything. I wasn't scared of the end results because I knew that the facility was highly recommended and many people went there. A lot of rich people go there, so I kind of felt comfortable because I knew for sure that they're not just gonna keep going to a doctor messing them up. I did so much research on the results of this procedure, so I felt like most people had really great results. So I wasn't as afraid about the results. I was just afraid about the needle. And another thing, I wasn't afraid about the results because Restylane is dissolvable, and I did my research on that, so I knew if I didn't like it that they could dissolve it right away if I didn't want it. Next comment is, oh my gosh, I love the first song in the background. I used to listen and dance to it when I was a teenager. Don't be fooled by your emptiness. Thank you, girl. Like, I found that on a non-copyrighted site, so I'm so glad you love the song. Thank you, girl, for watching. Okay, so the next question is, can we get an update on this? Did you ever go back and get a touch-up in anything after? Was it worth it? And how long do the results usually last? Okay, so the first question is, did you ever go back to get a touch-up or do anything after that? No, I have not went back to get a touch-up or anything after that. I do plan on going back for sure because I definitely needed to get a touch-up. It is dissolving and it's almost been 2 years, but it's been holding up pretty well. And sorry for the late update. And was it worth it? It was definitely worth it to me. Like, every penny, every drop, every needle prick was worth it because it just made my self-esteem go up. And I think that's what it's all about. Like, if you can do something that isn't so drastic and not a lot of money, why not do it if it's gonna make you feel good? So it made me feel really great. So I was really pleased with the results, and I will probably continuously get this, but this time I'm not gonna wait 2 years to get the touch-ups, but I will do it within the recommended time that they tell me to do it in, every 10 months. Okay, so the next comment says, thank you for this video. I'm thinking about having this done to fill my under eye hollows. You look great afterwards. Thank you, girl. And I love that she said under eye hollows because I want to tell you guys the difference between under eye hollows, bags, and dark circles. So under eye hollows are what I had, which is it's depleted from fat. And bags are actually fat that protrudes out, and it's kind of like a fat pocket that you can kind of see a bump and then a little bit of a hollowness, but it's usually fatty area. And then dark circles are usually just a dark area underneath your eyes, usually in a combination with either hollows or bags. So I didn't know the difference, and sometimes we can be a bit uneducated when we're talking about, oh, I have bags, or I have this. But when you go for consultations, they end up telling you exactly what you have, because bags you need to extract from, hollows you need to fill. So I had hollows, and they needed to fill the under eyes and put the fat pretty much back, but it wasn't fat, it was Restylane. So that is a really good thing that she said, because I just wanted to tell you guys that, because a lot of people don't know the difference in hollows, bags, and dark circles. So definitely get your consultation first before doing any of that, so you'll know exactly what you need up underneath your eyes, so you don't self-diagnose yourself like I did. Thank you so much, girl. You said I look great afterwards. I really appreciate that, and thank you for watching my video. The next comment says, finally a person who actually has under eye bags. Thank you for sharing, and now I will definitely be getting this done. You know what, that's the one thing I wanted to do, because every time I watched the video, I would see girls that barely have hollows, barely have bags, and they were like, oh, I just hate this so much, and it was very slight. I felt like I had realistic everyday bags, or hollows as I should call it, but it was like real life for me. It wasn't like a slightly little this, it was like real under eye hollows that you can actually see every single day. So it made me more realistic and more relatable to people that are actually having a really hard time with real under eye hollows, and really like in-depth under eye hollows. So I definitely wanted to show that part, because I felt like a lot of people was keeping it cute. And as you can see, I kind of look raggedy in that video because I had braids and all that kind of stuff. I just looked, you know, but I wanted to show the realness and the rawness of it actually being done. And a lot of people like to cover that part up and just kind of show the cutesy things and just talk about it afterwards. So that's why I wanted to do it live, so people can relate to me, and also so that they'll know what the real results look like on somebody as drastic as my case, like on somebody like me that had a drastic case of under eye hollows. So thank you so much for telling me that. I really appreciate it, and that's exactly why I did it and shared my story, because I wanted other people that had those same problems to see that this is what it actually really looks like without keeping it cute, you know. So my next comment, looks great. I really want to get this done. Too kind of scared though. Okay, so yes, you know, I was very scared when I first decided to go through with it. I was like really nervous. When I'm very nervous, I chew gum a lot. So I noticed that I was getting very, very nervous. But what I was really nervous about, it was other people's opinions and them saying, oh, you shouldn't get it done, anything could happen, did you do the research? They were instilling more fear into me than I was instilling fear into me. So thinking about what everybody else were saying, and just like kind of like trying to steer me not to do it. Just stick to your guns and do your research, and I bet you won't be as afraid. I wouldn't tell other people. If you really want to do something, keep it to yourself and just do your research, be safe, and just go through with it. Because if I would have listened to everybody around me about these under eye fillers, I would have never got it done. Same with my dimple piercings, I would have never got it done. So just do you, don't be afraid, and it's not really that bad on a scale to 1 to 10. The pain is only about a 4, and you will not be disappointed, I guarantee you. Okay, so my last question is, girl, it is such a small world. I've been researching this on YouTube because I'm definitely interested in getting this done. How did you like your results? So this is my last question, so I'm gonna say this. I loved my results, and I mean, I would get them again. I don't think there was something that is not affordable. I think if you really want them, they're very affordable. You don't have to go up under the knife. So the pros to this, I absolutely loved every bit of this. It was fast, it was easy, It was a quick recovery. You don't have to pay it in full if you don't want to. You can put it on care credit if you would like to. It's not that expensive. It's only like $1,200, even though it is expensive, but it's better than going up under the knife and paying thousands and thousands of dollars and being sedated and all that kind of stuff. So this is just, it has so many benefits to it. It boosts your self-esteem, and like you're up and out. Like it only took me about 15 to 20 minutes to get the under eye injections. I was up and out. You have a little bubbles on your face for a little bit. It goes down, a little bit of bruising for a couple days, and then you recover. And just put a little bit of makeup, and eventually the bruising goes away within probably about a week's time, and you're back to normal. I mean, the recovery time is great. The pricing is great and affordable, and the way it makes you feel is so dope. Like you feel amazing afterwards. You look amazing, you feel amazing, and I just think it's something that I will continuously always do, and always get touch-ups and keep the upkeep. Even though I haven't done it yet, I've been pushing it. As you can see, you can barely see the bag still now. And yes, it was just a great experience for me, and continue to go to the trusted people that you went to before. So if I go get this again, I definitely will go to Trish, and that's who I went to at the medical spa. And I probably wouldn't go with nobody else because I loved her results. I loved how she talked me through each thing, and my results came out really good. I didn't have any side effects, because there are some side effects to the injections, but I didn't have any side effects, so that was a really great thing. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you comment, rate, and subscribe, and don't forget to hit that notification bell.